Here's one thing most filmmakers won't say out loud. AI is already in our work, and I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. It's honestly saved my sanity more than once. But there's always this one thing standing in the way: the resolution and the bitrate. AI would get me about 90% of the time there and then fail right at the finish line. Too soft, too compressed, and never clean enough to put it in a real high budget project. And then this happened. Seedance 2.0 went native 4K inside Higgsfield AI. And for the first time, I'm looking at generated footage and actually deliver. No asterisks, no good enough for social media, true 4K resolution. Now, full transparency, Higgsfield is sponsoring this video, but you know how I work. I push a tool until it breaks, and I will tell you exactly what is good and what is bad. So I went back into my own career and pulled 4 real jobs. I'm going to do the shots I couldn't do at the time. And I'm going to show you the difference with the same prompt side by side between the 1080p and the new native 4K. So you don't have to take my word, you can actually see it by yourself. So let's start with the one that hurt me the most. In corporate film in the Swiss Alps, but the weather turned on us. We lost many shots because of the rain and there was no possibility to reshoot anything at all. Can the native 4K AI shot fill in the gaps in a corporate movie without anybody noticing? To start, you just go on higgsfield.ai, go to video, go on Seedance 2.0 4K. And the magic happens in this corner. We can click here on 720p and now go up to 4K. As you can see, we already have this new slot here that is called bitrate, and we can choose between high and standard. And bitrate is something that is most of the time the problem. When you have this really fast motion, your footage starts to look very cheap, and high bitrate really fights that problem. We can go up to 15 seconds of generation time, and you can see it's very hungry on coins, but believe me, the results will be very impressive. For the first test, we start with text to video generation. In the end of the day, that's still Seedance 2.0. You can add your references, video, images, audios to create the best result you want with the most control. But just for the test, how far we can get with a simple multi-shot text prompt. So the generation is done and already the first frame looks amazing. Let's check it out. This was really good. The first shot already perfect. I really like the texture of everything. So the 4K really makes the difference in my opinion. The footage already looks more organic, and this is the only shot where I think I don't like it too much because I don't like the color here. But overall the detail is very good. But the shot of the owl, this is insane. You guys saw that for the first time. I was actually switching back to German because ach du Scheiße, this is good, great resolution, great texture. Someone sent me this video clip. I would never think in my life that this one is AI. Here the extra detail from the 4K resolution really sells the shot. Also the POV shot at the end of the video, which is very dynamic. Nice camera work, no artifacts because of the bitrate. You can stop at any time of the video and it looks great. That's natural motion blur. That's totally normal for a shot like this, but overall very great results. And now we switch back to 720p, which I use most of the time with Seedance for social media or something. Then I scale it a little bit up, can already see we are a lot cheaper than before, just 68 tokens. So let's check out how far the difference are between the shots. When we compare the shots side by side, here this forest shot at the beginning and most importantly the old shot, you can see how much more feathers and texture in the eyes we can actually see on the new Seedance 4K version. Also, when I want to crop a little bit to get a much tighter shot, we can see the normal 720p footage totally falls apart, but the 4K footage still looks very good. If you want to try Seedance 2.0 4K for yourself, check out the first link in the description. Now we are at shot number 3, the music video shot. We have this cool VFX transition at the beginning. The problem was we wanted a much longer intro, but we didn't have the opportunity to do it that way. And as you can see, the whole city here is CGI, so everything looks very computer generated and not real at all. So let's check out what Seedance 4K can do. I will change one thing to make the video a little bit more fun to us. Let's create a cyberpunk universe at the beginning. So not just New York at night. No, we want New York, this nice neon lights, flying cars all over it. That would be really cool to see in 4K. This time we're going to to feed Seedance a few reference images so that he has something to work on. So this is the prompt I'm adding, and now I have to connect the reference images to the right places. And let's hit generate. Also here, phenomenal quality. Look at the details. Everything looks very organic. It doesn't look over sharp. It actually looks very detailed. And the nice thing about that, you can always color grade it to make it softer when you think it looks too digital. But this is the beauty of having the extra resolution, because when we compare it directly to the 720p version, I think it looks much worse, because now we don't have the details and everything looks more computer generated. Look at the side-by-side comparison. Write it down in the comments and tell me how much difference you actually see at the end of the day of YouTube. The next one is a film noir fragrance commercial. And overall, I really like the product that we created. But there's still a few scenes I wanted to integrate into the video, but we shot more than one commercial at a time. And you know, when you're shooting products commercial, time is everything. So I want to recreate a nice slow motion shot of the revolver where rain droplets are falling slow motion onto it. And also just a close-up of a woman in nicely lit film noir style. So just that we have a little bit of mystery and an actual person in the video. If you want to work more on reference frames, it's actually no problem. You just can go into image, use some shots from the commercial as a reference, use GPT-2, that's in my opinion one of the best image models right now, type in the prompt and use 4K and generate. Okay, let's check out the results of the revolver. I'm not that happy with the animation. I think the rain could pour a little bit more. When you compare it to the 720p version, the animation is even worse, but if you compare them side by side, you already can see again how much more detail we have in the 4K version. When you're working in black and white, everything seems sharper anyways, but here is the effect even more extreme. Then very important, we come from the shot with the woman. Here again, I go into image, created several images, then I added some skin enhancer because I want the shot to feel as realistic as possible, and most of the time when you're working with hard lights, you see a lot of imperfection in the skin. This is the prompt I created. I want to create two shots. One shot of close-up of her face where she's looking straight into the camera and the light does a little animation. So let's look at the result. We have amazing details. I also like how the shadow moves in the frame, and when we compare this shot to the 720p version, here we can see even better the importance of 4K, because now her skin on the 720p version looks very mushy because we don't have the bitrate, we don't have the details. So the only possible way to use the shot is to blur it even more, add some film grain and go full 60mm look. But that's not always what I want. Sometimes I want details, and here I have the possibility to do it. The last job was a commercial. There we had a VFX shot at the end, but we had to use cheap stock footage to make it work. In the end, I think it looks okay. What we actually did, we masked the guy out, used stock footage from a wave breaking, put in the background, scaled it up a little bit and blurred the hell out of it so that no one sees how bad the quality of the shot is. Now we try it again with Seedance 4K, and I want to improve the shot a little bit. I always wanted that the water splashes on them at the end, but with stock footage this wasn't possible, so let's check out how good the results are. I fed in the reference image, this is my prompt, go in 16:9, 9 seconds are good enough, 4K, and hit generate. So we have the wave coming from the back, splashing really nicely, and the water splashes nicely on them. Also here, when we look at the footage, the droplets, the water splashes, the hair of the dog, everything looks very detailed. And with a nice little speed ramp, I think this shot would look much better. Now let's compare it to the 720 version. I don't think this looked bad at all. Also very nice, very good detail. I like the water splash on the shot before more, but overall you can see it still has much less detail than the 4K version when we crop in. Look at the water droplets, look at the eyes, the skin of the people. I was always a big fan of Seedance 2.0, but the 4K version really changed the game for me. The only problem we have is the price. It's very heavy on credits, but in my opinion the results you get from there are totally worth it. One problem is also it takes very long to generate one video. After testing all these projects, there's this thing I can get out of my head. The craft was never the camera, the craft was never the gear. It was always the creativity, what we had in mind, what we want to create, but sometimes it's just not possible because of human limitations. For years I had a lot of shots in my head that I couldn't afford, but now with Seedance 2.0 4K I can actually implement these shots much easier in my projects. So from now on I can plan plan my projects completely differently because I have a new tool to use and a realistic feeling that we had never before with AI. Go out there and create something amazing that wasn't possible before. My name is Marco Bagnoli and I'll see you next time.